I'm going to give you some hints on these application problems. I'm not going to give you the full answer, but I'm definitely going to try and give you some like ideas to start. So these two I'm not going to go over. We did a lot of that in the practice, but let's look at these. So these are charts, right? We're going to be looking for patterns. The biggest thing is labeling your answer, right? This means units. I want units. So when they give it to you, I want you to give them, right? So for example, this one is going to be seconds, dollars per second, right? This one's going to be grams per day, right? We have our time is X, our profit is Y, right? We have Y over X. Remember, the time unit is usually in the denominator. Alright, so for this one's a little trickier. They're asking for time interval, the kiln showed the greatest rate of change. This is looking at the steepness. Right, so like this is really steep. This is not so steep. Right, so we want to look, right? Steep is fast. You don't need to take these notes down because it's going to sort of get in the room of your actual work. I'm just giving you some notes, right? So if we look here, like this is way steeper than this, right? So 0 to 1.5 is fast, right? And like 4.65 to 8.95, not as fast, right? So you want to think about slope in terms of steepness, and that will tell you if it's faster or not. All right, on the back side, we have a word problem about Pokemon. So this first one is looking at the graph. We want to find the slope. We want to know what the slope means, right? So labels, we need units, right? So definitely give us your new units when explaining it. We're looking at y-intercepts, vocab term. If we look over here at Mr. Aldana, he is given a table. So remember, when we're looking for tables, we're looking for patterns. So look for the pattern here. Make sure you explain these things. What does it mean in this population, right? Use words. You want to sort of explain it. You want to be able to answer this question if it was someone who like didn't know math or wasn't in this class, right? You want to explain it. All right, Ms. Donalick is given an equation. Remember, our slope is the number in front of x. And this one, we are trying to figure out how many cards Ms. Donalick will have in 40 days, right? So we know that x is our days. So we're saying x equals 40, y equals what? You have to solve that, right? This is the opposite. When will she have 8 cards, right? So we know that y equals 8, x equals what? So we're going to set that up. We're going to do the opposite, right? So try and figure out what that x would be. All right, and then finally, who is the best player? Why? This is so important. A lot of you guys miss this. Like, you just give the answer, but you don't explain why. You can actually get a lot more points if you explain why, right? So you want to talk about the slope or the rate of change in your answer. Rate of change. A good way to start this problem would say, Mr. Mrs. Blank is the best or worst because ... Explain that, finish that sentence using slope and rate of change. All right, here's a hint. If you think the best player typically is getting more cards, right? So if someone's losing cards, they are probably not a very good player. So there's a hint for you there.